Hi everyone, welcome back to my first video of 2022. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about headless and e-commerce and what's going to happen in 2022. If one thing's for sure, the pandemic still hasn't gone away. And so far in the last 2 years, the pandemic has changed the way that we work, it's changed the way that we shop, and it's even changed the way that we communicate with each other. So we still have remote working and hybrid working, and we're even seeing grandparents and my own parents using social networking and video conferencing platforms to keep in contact with the rest of the family. Digital has become extremely pervasive in everybody's life, and its impact in e-commerce has been tremendous. Basically, digital is the primary channel for nearly every business. In my last video, I did a quick summary of Black Friday and the amount of traffic we received in November, and those findings show that digital is still the primary channel. In the last 2 years, most businesses have hardened up their e-commerce offerings and their digital experiences. And what's really exciting is last year we've seen lots of businesses pick up headless and Mac-based architectures to drive their digital business. And what I believe is this year, as table stakes in e-commerce have been met, we're going to see a dramatic increase in competition. It's going to be much harder in e-commerce to attract and engage customers. And what I think is that the digital experience itself is going to be the new battleground in e-commerce. As businesses start to reach the same levels of e-commerce capability, the digital experience needs to move far beyond the e-commerce website built for frictionless commerce. And what I mean by that is that digital experiences need to move beyond the old linear paths that were created by the monoliths, which would start with some form of landing page, then move through a set of lister pages till finally you reached a product details page where you would decide to buy and make a selection. And then after that, you would obviously go and check out. And these journeys were made fairly linear and were made as frictionless as possible so someone could start at the beginning and get to the end as quickly as possible. In 2022, digital experiences need to support customers wherever they enter the shopping journey. And that brings me to a really interesting influencing factor that was brought from the pandemic, and that is of social networking. Since the pandemic, people have doubled the amount of time they have spent in social networking. I've seen numbers of up to 1/3 of referrals to an e-commerce site that has come from social networks. You have no control over where a customer enters your shopping journey. They may have never been to your site before. This means your digital experiences need to be more adaptive and far more fluid than just a linear path. Another thing you've got to understand is that many people have up to 10 browser tabs open at once. So if you want the shopping journey to end with you and you want that conversion, you've got to make sure that your digital experience is contextual. It's got to understand the intention of the user when they enter your shopping journey. You've got to understand where they are in the shopping journey because it won't have started with you. So if you're finding this video useful and you're enjoying it so far, can you do me one quick favor? Can you just scroll down a little bit and press that like button so that we can share it to many others? Thank you. And when I talk about digital experiences, I don't just mean the e-commerce website. I include the whole experience a customer has with every single digital touchpoint you have. In many ways, this explains the big shift to Mac and headless architectures we're seeing in the industry. Using the microservices from Mac-based vendors means you can compose and assemble these digital experiences completely on the fly, completely dynamically, and therefore make them contextual to the customer. For me, 2021 was where MACH Architecture became an industry standard, and we see many businesses starting to strangle out their monoliths. So what I think is going to be really exciting in 2022 is that businesses are going to start to take advantage of that Mac-based architecture. If there's one area for me that needs a radical refactoring in e-commerce, it's the product details page. The product page, or the PDP, in the old world tended to be a single hard-coded template, which was incredibly difficult to change, and therefore it's seen very little innovation. But what's really interesting about the product details page is that it actually has content, data, and functionality from lots of different systems. And in the new world, these are going to come from lots of different microservices. And those microservices may be from different vendors, and they're going to be free from the hard-coded templates of the past. So therefore, you're able to make fast iterations and start to really innovate in that page. Because believe me, that's where the innovation needs to happen. Because given the trends in social media and other influencing factors like search, the product details page is really the new landing page. So for me, in 2022, that's probably the most important place that you can start to innovate. Although I think 2022 is going to be a fantastic year for digital e-commerce, I don't think it's going to be any more certain than it has been for the last 2 years. I think there's still going to be a lot of uncertainty about shopping habits, not to mention some of the mega trends that are starting to emerge in the industry. It's still early days, but you can't talk about the future without mentioning the word metaverse. But I think when it happens, it's going to bring a huge amount of opportunity, but also a huge amount of disruption. Another big trend I think we'll start to see really happening this year is that of sustainable products. It's going to be increasingly important to show the environmental impact of a product before you buy it. And there's new technology around blockchain that will help to understand the origin and the production of a product and understand its carbon footprint and its impact on the environment. I personally think it's going to go beyond that. I believe the throwaway economy that we're currently living in is not sustainable. By giving every single product a digital fingerprint means that we can track not only where the product has come from, but where it's going to be in the future. And this may drive new business models around re-commerce. It's still early days, but I'm actually really excited by this. The most important thing to remember is to be future ready. And that's why I believe that 2022 is going to be the year of MACH Architecture. So my most popular video of 2021 was, what is composable commerce? It's a great video that explains how to compose e-commerce experiences and goes to the heart of some of the things that I've said today. And I'll leave it here for you to watch next. But now it's time to say thank you, goodbye, and I'll see you next time.